For more than a century, the princes of Rus bowed to the Golden Horde. Tribute flowed south, power flowed east. Silver, furs, and sons were sent across the steppe. Princes traveled to the Horde's court to receive patents of rule, not from their own people, but from Khans. Authority did not come from Moscow, it came from the steppe. But by the late 14th century, the Golden Horde was no longer united. Rival warlords competed for power. Among them was Mamai, a commander, not a Khan, ruling through force, not legitimacy. The empire still demanded obedience, but it was no longer invincible. But on September 8, 1380, on a mist-covered field near the Don River, one prince chose defiance. After the Mongol invasions of the 13th century, the Rus' principalities became tributaries of the Golden Horde, a western successor state of the Mongol Empire. By the late 14th century, internal instability weakened the Horde. A powerful commander, Mamai, sought to maintain dominance over Rus. Meanwhile, Prince Dmitry of Moscow began consolidating rival Rus' territories, building political unity and military strength. In 1380, Mamai gathered a coalition force, reportedly including Genoese mercenaries. Dmitry Ivanovich marched south with allied Rus' princes. Instead of waiting defensively, he crossed the Don River. A bold move cutting off retreat. The battlefield, Kulikovo Field, near the Nepriadva River. The battle began with a traditional single combat between champions, a symbolic prelude. Then the armies clashed. The Horde's cavalry struck hard. Rus lines bent under pressure. At a critical moment, a hidden reserve regiment commanded by Dmitry Bobrok-Volinsky emerged from the forest and struck Mamai's flank. The tide shifted. The Horde forces broke. Dmitry survived the battle, but was reportedly found unconscious among the fallen. The field was silent by evening. Thousands lay dead on both sides. The scale of losses was immense for the principalities of Rus. Dmitry earned the title Donskoy, of the Don, but victory came at staggering human cost. This was not a clean triumph. It was survival through sacrifice. And yet, history is rarely simple. In 1382, only 2 years later, Khan Toktamish, a rival within the Golden Horde, marched on Moscow. The city was sacked. Tribute resumed. Kulikovo had not ended Mongol authority. It had not freed Rus' overnight. But something deeper had changed. For over a century, the Mongol armies had seemed unstoppable. Kulikovo proved they could be defeated in open battle. The princes of Rus had fought together, not as rivals, but as a united force. Moscow emerged not just as a city, but as a political center. The idea of resistance no longer felt impossible. Over the next century, Moscow consolidated neighboring territories. In 1480, at the Great Stand on the Ugra River, Ivan III finally ended tribute to the Horde without major battle. The Mongol yoke did not collapse in one day. It eroded over generations. Kulikovo became the symbolic beginning of that shift. Chroniclers later elevated Kulikovo into legend. Poems like Zadonshchina cast it as divine destiny. Modern historians caution against exaggeration. But even stripped of myth, its political meaning remains undeniable. Kulikovo did not destroy an empire. It destroyed the myth of invincibility. Empires fall slowly, but belief shifts in a single day. On September 8, 1380, fear changed sides. This was the Battle of Kulikovo, where resistance became possible. If you value powerful, historically grounded storytelling, thank you for watching. We need your subscription to continue bringing history to life. See you in the next video.